together, you can figure out who the fun people in class are. All right, so today we're going to go over combining functions. All right, so you've got your four basic, add, subtract, multiply, and divide. There's two different ways of writing it. I personally prefer the one on the left. All right, are we talking and writing or no? All right. So, we got those four written. Alrighty, so when it comes to these, we are going to be plugging in and evaluating. Alright, so there's two different things that's going to happen. Number one, you're going to see them like this, where it's f of x plus g of x. Alright, you're literally doing exactly what it tells you to do. Okay, so you would go f of x, which is 2x plus 1, and you would add that to x squared plus 2x minus 1. That? You're good? Okay. Now, literally, all you have to do on these is combine your like terms. So x squared is on its own. I hate you so much, you stupid computer. Yeah. All right, now my ones cancel, so I'm done right here. All right, do you guys have these four written in your notes for sure? Okay. So we're going to end up combining them. All right. I'm going to ask you, okay, what's g of x minus h of x? So g of x again, x squared plus 2x minus 1. All of that minus this, 1 minus x. All right. Yeah. So I try to do them by like 10 or 11 in the morning. It depends on what chaos ensues throughout the morning and then how fast it loads to YouTube. If all else fails, go to YouTube. It'll sync there before it goes to the calendar, because I have to manually put it in the calendar. Wow. I got nothing, honey. All right, so I'm going to subtract these off. Make sure when you do this, you change your signs for both of them. Okay, so I've got x squared. All right, and then I've got 2x plus another x, so that's 3x. And then negative 1 minus another negative 1 will give me 2. Yeah, on Friday I uploaded the video from first period. So the notes for Friday's homework are already there. All right, so for C, I'm multiplying. All right, so now I got 2x plus 1 times the quantity, x squared plus 2x minus 1. How many of you, when you kind of see that, are a little overwhelmed by the thought of having to do 6 multiplications? Yeah? All right, so here's a way of doing it so it's not quite as terrifying. Yep. So this looks like a Punnett square from biology. You just go rows by columns, that's it. So 2x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x, and then it's just 1. Out of those 4, so they both mean the same thing. I personally like writing it on the left, but you have to be used to. Oh, that? How do I choose it? Because it says what f of x is. Okay. All right. Now the one thing with this, when you go to combine your like terms, vast majority of the time, they match up on a diagonal. All right, so like these right here cancel out completely. So final answer is 2x cubed plus 5x minus 1. Oh, x squared. My bad. Friday. All right. Ready for part D? All right, so h of x is 1 minus x. And then remember, we're dividing by the function of j of x, which is 1 over x. Now, what happens when you divide by a fraction? Yeah, it's multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay. So it'll be x minus x squared. Easy enough so far? So now we're going to work on evaluating it, which means instead of it saying x, we're going to have numbers. All right, you want to take a second, kind of write those out? All right, so until they tell you otherwise, you're still using the exact same functions. Okay? So unless they give you, now we're going to use this f of x, this g of x, this h of x, this j of x, you keep using the same stuff. All right, so for this first one, it says h of 4 plus j of 4. Okay? I took attendance. I don't need the voice of God yelling at me, right? Okay, good.
That was not.
I know, that was a different classroom, but I don't want them yelling at me too. So, remember, h of x, so we've got h of 4. That function is 1 minus 4, and that just equals negative 3, right? And then we've got j of 4, and that is 1 over 4, and then that's that, right? Yeah. So now what do I need to do with those two answers? Add them, multiply them? Yep, add them together. All right, so I now have negative 3 plus 1 over 4, and that equals negative 2 3/4. Ta-da. You could write it as a negative 11 over 4. It does not bother me. They mean the same thing. Yep. Do you guys prefer writing it that way, where you split it and you do each of them one at a time and then add them? Yes? Because, like, for letter F, we're dealing with f of x and h of x. What you can do is you can write it as 2x plus 1 divided by 1 over x, and then you can plug in negative 1. It's kind of whatever floats your boat. All right? It doesn't matter to me. They both work out the same way. So I've got 2 times a negative 1 plus 1. So negative 2 plus 1 is a negative 1 over 2. Ready for G? Yeah. Ready? This last one is g of 0 and h of 0. So, did you like writing out the equations and then plugging in the values, or did you like solving for each of them and then doing the subtraction? The second option? Yeah. I like that one better. That's just me. So g of 0 is 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 1, and that's just a negative 1. And h of 0 is 1 minus 0, and that is just 1. Yes, there is mathematics in thunderstorms. Yes. I know. Still lagging. Yes, we do. All right, so this one's going to be kind of hard to copy into your notes, but I do want to kind of show you what everything looks like and what you'll see on your homework. All right, so I've got two functions. This one is g of x, and I'm going to actually circle it. It will show up that way on your homework, where it'll say this one's g of x. It copies really badly, so I know like it can be difficult to see, and I don't know why that one's like right at the origin, but it is. All right, so I always go through and kind of like highlight those so you know which one's which. All right, so anytime I do anything out of f of x, I'm going to do it in blue. Anything I do out of g of x, I'm going to do in red. Okay, so this one says f plus g of negative 2. So you need to find f of negative 2, and then you need to find g of negative 2, and you're going to add them together. All right, so f at negative 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go 8. All right. Let her live her life. God. All right. Now, you'll notice on this, the scale's kind of screwy. I don't know what happened to my scale. It looks like it's going by 5s on my y-axis. Yeah, it's going by 5s. So, we said 8. That'll make this 40. And then, I got to come over here to this bad boy, because the blue graph matches with f. And the red graph matches with g. All right, and then on this one, I have to go to negative 2, and it looks like it's down here at negative 1. So we're adding a negative 1. Final answer is going to be 39. Easy enough. Yeah, it's just trying to get you guys used to going from the graph, doing it algebraically, just exposing you to all the different kinds of notations that you'll see. Do we want to do another one? Which one? B? All right, so f of 1. So it looks like, we're just going to ignore these scales for this one, because this is dumb. So f of 1, we're going to go down here, and we're going to call that 38. All right? And then g of 1 is way over here at negative 2. And I'm going to divide that by negative 2. I promise the ones on your homework don't have stupid scaling. All right, 38 divided by negative 2 is a negative 19. That's the answer. It's literally find something off of this graph, find something off of this graph, and then just do one of the arithmetic things that I've asked you to do. That's it. All right? Sweet. All right, we're done. We all good.